Chapter 81. Episode 4. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As I stood in line at the reception desk, the whispering voices around me were getting louder and wider. There was very little pure praise, only jealousy-laden misgivings. Maya only heard the convenient part, because she was fidgeting happily and flicking her black bear fur around her surroundings. Wouldn't it be better to keep that hidden a bit longer? Is that so? Please, I'm serious. I'm sure it's gonna be a disaster. If Abel says, to be honest, as a novice, I don't feel very comfortable. I can't keep my spirit up if I'm subjected to these kinds of stares every time. But as long as I get the money, I don't care. From now on, I'll just leave all the conversions to Maya. It's not that I'm looking for achievements or credibility. L.C. But. Well. It's hard for Maya to keep it up too, isn't it? It's not like all of them won't touch me, like the drunk guy from earlier. At this rate, it's going to get worse as the days go by. Is there anything we can do about it? Should we just have a big fight and throw out a bunch of magic? No, not so fast, me. If you take it home with you every day, it will go away. Right now, we can only bet on that possibility. The Adventurer Support Center has a different kind of quiet atmosphere than before. Although it had subsided somewhat since Maya had started to hold it hidden, it was only somewhat. There are people who have finished their own business but are reluctantly sitting in the reception area and watching us. In the uncomfortable space, it's finally getting close to our turn. The receptionist was an expressionless, clerical-looking woman. Her hair is tied back tightly and her eyes look a little tight, giving the impression of cleverness. You've got some extra money in your pocket, lion. Shall I spend it quickly? Hey, sis, can I buy you a drink tonight? I'm sorry, but the next one is waiting for you. If you've checked the numbers, please leave quickly. TSK, not very friendly. It's supposed to be a joke, so why do you have to be such an idiot to get it? She was unfazed by the adventurer who seemed to be picking on him. She didn't frown at any of the discarded words and seemed indifferent to them. She still looks young, but she must be someone who's used to it. Good. Maybe she will take in our intentions and end it quickly. Excuse me, I hunted a demonic beast that matches the characteristics of the mutant species that was requested to be killed, I told the receptionist, keeping my voice low. Maya scurried around to check her surroundings and slowly placed the black bear's ears on the desk. This is the head-eating black fiend. Did you hunt it? May I see the report, if you don't mind? The receptionist shouted excitedly and slammed the desk with both hands. She was a complete mess. I couldn't help but look around the support center with a sideways glance. The eyes of those around me who had been settled in were all looking at me at once. I hunted, or rather. Something, I think it might have been dying from the start, the reports certainly matched the sightings, too. Sorry, it's a rare species, so please understand that it may take some time to identify it, is that all right? The receptionist talked fast and wound up talking. She spat all over the desk. Also. I'd like to check the nature of the fur, could I borrow it? We can process it for you as a service. And we'll even offer you a top-up fee. Maya looks at me for approval and then hands the fur to the receptionist. The fur is fine, but I need to hold my voice down a bit more. It's kind of ruining everything already. Oh, a little quieter, I know you're busy, but please wait in the rest area for a moment. You will be approached later by us and asked to come to a special window on another floor. That's a nice, sturdy fur. It has been hypothesized that it has a strong resistance to slashing, based on the reported cases, so if that's true, then it should sell for a pretty good price. Please wait for that. The receptionist told me this as she leaned forward and Guts posed at me. There's one thing I've learned. The adventurers seem to be jealous of their peers, but from the staff's side, it's only a relationship of mutual cooperation and there's not the slightest hint of jealousy, so they will inevitably be sparse. It must have been a pure blessing, not a malicious intent. The receptionist seemed to have finally noticed the change in atmosphere after a moment's fuss. She covered her mouth and blushed, interrupting a coughing fit before finally lowering the volume of her voice. I'm afraid I yelled a little too loudly. I've been a bit of a sloppy attitude, I'm ashamed. It's not like everyone is surprised because your voice is loud, but because of the content. I really need to do some more counter-measure next time. What? What did the little shrimp over there do? Ha! When I turned around, a large man was on his way to me as he swept briskly through the crowd. A large face, indigo hair, a furrowed beard, and wild, hairy arms. It's Gaston. Gaston's face was wrinkled as he was staring at me. 3 of his raggedy, smelly cronies follow Gaston down the path he's cut through. It's a really troublesome time to be in trouble, and a really troublesome guy comes along. Hey, this is troubling. Gaston Jernando.san, I presume. You should have received a warning due to your several annoyances. If you do not retreat, heavy penalties will be imposed, including temporary suspension of your use of the Adventurer Support Center and banning you from all branches. The receptionist issues a warning over the counter. Gaston frowns even more and moves his face closer to the receptionist. Shut your mouth. I'm here for the little bastard. And I'm trying to do something good for the institution, right? A plus for this facility. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes there's an asshole, like that kid over there, who tries to cheat his way up the ranks. Gaston let out a deep sigh as he deliberately put his hand to his forehead and stared at me. This is the reason why people are buried that should be appreciated more, isn't that right? Oh, come on, tell me, kid. How did you get it done with your puny frame? Ha! You're looking down at the lower levels because the screening process is so lax, haven't you? Could this person who should be evaluated be referring to himself? As I recall, the rumor I heard was that Gaston has been a semi-D class level because he hadn't shown any signs of movement in the last few years. It's at least from the C class that he begins to catch the attention of the nobility. While he was frustrated by the lack of movement even though he wanted to move up, he heard that I, who looked weak, had killed a high-risk demonic beast, so he came to make a complaint, assuming that it must be unfair. It's our staff's job to judge that, and not your, how many times do I have to tell you to shut the fuck up, you bitch? Because of your incompetence, I'm the one who's going to punish you personally. If the head-eating black fiend was really a top C class as per the presumed danger level, then of course there's no way this little wimpy kid can hunt it. To think that they can't understand such things, the staff are all idiots. One of the cronies forcefully picks up the report the receptionist was holding. Ah! Hey you, give it back. I ducked to dodge the receptionist's outstretched hand. Ha, come on, brother Gaston, this guy is a masterpiece. Oh. What kind of horsish asterisk T did they write in it? Kihihi, this thing wants brother Gaston to read it. I'll need you to shout it out to the entire floor, please. Not good, that report was written by Maya with her own sense of humor. Maya is also half in tears as she slumps down. I quietly took out my wand from my pocket and gripped it tightly. No, but if I hit him with magic here, there would be a lot of problems. The cronies hand the report to Gaston. Gaston's complexion suddenly turned even redder, his veins appeared and he punched his cronies. I said read it. You're going to make fun of me for not being able to read. I'm sorry, the crony crawled to the floor and picked up their own teeth that fell out of their mouths. In the meantime, I waved my wand and imagined the magic circle. Oh wind, carry, a breeze that came through quickly took the report and returned it to the receptionist's hand. Was that magic? So precise, and quick, a coincidence. The receptionist's eyes widened as she stared at the report in her hand. I wouldn't worry about it. I'll take care of the trouble myself. As for the black bear's reward and so on, I will come back to pick it up later when things have cooled down. Are you okay with that? What? I'm fine with that. But, I turned to Gaston and let the tip of my wand fall to the floor. I was just thinking that my spirit wouldn't be able to hold on to this every time we go on like this, anyhow. Just in time. What are you talking about? Why don't we go outside to the back street and talk? I don't want to be a spectacle anymore, so it's 1.1, with no audience. Maya will have to wait too. Maya too. Ha. Ha. Maya seems even more upset than before and compares me to Gaston in a daze. God this kid's got more balls than I thought. Interesting. Hey you guys, wait here. Yes, Brother Gaston. The three cronies spoke up and replied. Gaston and I walked out of the facility, side by side, with a mixture of opportunity and anxiety in our eyes. Chapter 82. Episode 5. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gaston and I walked together to the street just behind us. There was a passerby on the way, looking at us quizzically, but when Gaston shouted one word, he quickly turned his head down and ran away. If they're this scared, I guess I don't have to worry about them following me. I guess around here is fine. I stop and look around. I don't see a soul. Well, I guess it's time you tell me what you plan to do with me in this kind of place. Gaston glared at me as he made a clenched fist. It looks like he's ready to fight. Well, if it was in that situation, I wouldn't be surprised if he thought so. Wait a minute. I really just want to talk to you. Upon receiving my words, Gaston opened his mouth, stunned. As for me, there's no point in fighting Gaston. Even if I beat up Gaston here, the other adventurers' jealousy would not stop. If we do that, we need to beat him up in a big way, rather than secretly. It's just to make me feel a little better. That's why I called Gaston here this time, simply to negotiate. What? You're making fun of me, huh? That magic beast is definitely not the one I hunt. Ho, you admit it. That's a smart choice, damn brat. But you didn't think that if you apologize to me and that will end it, did you? It's true that I'm open-minded and tight-lipped. But that's only because of the plot. You understand, right? Gaston shows his gums and smiles a sneaky smile and moves his face closer to me. In short, in exchange for keeping quiet about it, he wants me to give him something in return. I wonder where the guy went that said it was for the security of the Adventurer Support Center. But if Gaston was seriously concerned about the current state of the facility, this negotiation was impossible. Thank God Gaston was not a righteous man. No, I knew that couldn't be true. Wait, there's a situation. Can I ask you to listen to it first? A situation. Actually, I'm under orders from a certain person whose adventurer's license was revoked to redeem the money on his behalf. That's why I don't get any reward money myself, and I'm just trying to make ends meet every day, so I'm sorry, but I don't have the money to pay Gaston.san. I can't tell you his name. But he's a pretty dangerous guy, so don't even think about telling him off. I could get killed too if I don't make it. If this lie goes through, we should be able to take the conversation to the next level at once. But I didn't get much of a response. It's a story I made up on the spot for convenience, but I guess it was too much to ask. Ho, I thought that was about it. Good thing he's an idiot. But it doesn't matter. If you want me to keep it a secret, just give me the money. If you can't turn it in from your reward money, then collect the money by stealing or extorting. You don't want to die either, do you? I'm telling you that I, a generous man, am going to let this go, so give me the money. Gaston raises his voice and comes over and threatens me. He really is a hell of a guy. It doesn't hurt my heart to use him, so it's easier for me to do that now, though. It is a negotiation from here. I'm going to hand over to Gaston.san the parts and materials that he gave me to exchange for money. How about that? What? I was happy at first that I might be able to move up the ranks with ease. But I knew if it was someone like me with inadequate skills took it to the next level, people would only think it was a mistake. On the other hand, Gaston.san, he's strong and good-looking, so people won't get suspicious, and he's tight-lipped. I think the other person would agree with me too. He just doesn't want to show his face unintentionally, so he'll have to put me in between. I see, that makes sense. Well, I'm strong, good-looking, and righteous. Gaston said and laughed vigorously with a gahaha. This guy is easier to take on board than I thought. I'll let that monster beast pass in my name since it's complicated, but next time I'll hand it over first. But you'll have to return the money to me later. If you don't do that, you'll lose your connection with that person, and it won't be good for Gaston.san, will it? You mean, next time you'll give me the credit? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Gaston's eyes bleed as he closes in on me. Yeah. Please, will you accept these terms as a way to help me? Gahahahaha. I don't care about the measly sums of money I'll be squeezing out from a kid if it's even possible to serve a nobleman. All right, this kind, gentleman, will take you up on your offer. Gaston's eyes sparkled while Guts posed. He must have wanted to raise his rank very badly. Now I will be able to redeem money consistently without being looked at strangely by those around me in the future. It's a win-win. As long as he's baited on the rank, Gaston won't do anything to break his promise either. If something unexpected happens, then I can just settle it with force. But even the Adventurer Support Center and the nobles are not stupid. As Gaston had said, the judging is only loose until the D. class. Gaston's rank stays in this position, it's probably because it has become difficult to raise his rank through deception. So I don't think that a little bit of false credit will improve his rankings, and in case something happens, I'm not sure if the opportunity to serve a nobleman will come when he rises to C. class due to a mistake. Even the nobles don't want to take hold of a failure, so they will do sufficient research before hiring. First of all, without a doubt, Gaston will be left out of it. But there's no need to say that from us. Let's just lift him up appropriately for now and let him get on with it. He's going to be my puppet for a while until something goes wrong. Up until now I've been smoldering by lack of opportunities, but finally the time for my abilities to recognized has come. I'm a lucky guy after all. Gahahahaha. Gaston was pleased as he slapped his knees more and more by himself. He was in good mood, despite all the talk at the Adventurer Support Center about injustice. At this rate, it's going to be okay for a while. Chapter 83. Episode 6. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Me and Gaston walked back to the Adventurer Support Center, side by side with the two of us. In the corner of the hall where the receptionist's office was located, Maya was being entangled by Gaston's cronies. Kikihihi, that kid is going to die, huh? There's no one in this town who's ever been safe from challenging Brother Gaston after all. Oh, I wish you hadn't been so cunning in the first place. If you'd gotten down on our knees right then and there, it wouldn't have gotten as bad as this. This is what happens when a kid has the witlessness to do something stupid. Kahaha. There's nothing like watching a guy who's on top of his game go down. Hi, girl, looking at you closely, you're pretty good looking. If you become my girl, I don't mind asking Brother Gaston to spare his life, if that's all right with you. Hi, he is ranting one-sidedly against Maya, who is too scared to argue properly. Maya half cried out in a whisper, Abel, is so strong. It's true, everyone else just watched from a distance. They must be afraid of Gaston. I went alone to keep the conversation from sulking, but I guess it was a bad idea to leave Maya behind. Hey you guys, before I could run up to him, Gaston staggered up to me with a large gait. His face was bright red and his eyes were filled with rage. You guys. What the hell are you doing? Ah, brother Gaston, you're back. Kihihi, how's that kid? Huh, he looks okay. Gaston grabs his crony, a tall, skinny man's chest and lifts him up, pushing him against the wall. Gag. Gaga, brother Gaston. You guys, aren't you be ashamed of yourselves for wasting your time on people's accomplishments? Gaston puts his face close to the man and opens his big mouth to yell at him. Eeh. 3 of Gaston's cronies shouted at the same time. Hey, wait, brother Gaston. What happened? Really, what happened? There's nothing to it. There is. What you're saying has changed 180 degrees. Ah. You're going to stand up against me. You're wrong. You're wrong, because, don't talk back to me, it's irritating. Hi. It was a clean back slap. I think he was afraid that he was going to violate his contract with me. Maybe he was pissed off because he felt like he'd been undermined by a promotion that he'd finally been able to seize. It was not only his followers that questioned Gaston's sudden change of heart. There are a number of onlookers who are also wondering about Gaston's change. Hey, what happened? I don't know, maybe got bought by money, right? That little boy is really crafty. The head-eating black fiend must have a hidden agenda too. It doesn't feel very good, but I guess I can't blame them for sounding a little like this. I'm going to be out of the spotlight sooner or later anyway, so let them say it. I was thinking about that, but Gaston didn't seem to be so sure. His eyes bloodshot and draws near towards the direction of the onlookers who had been gossiping. What are you guys whispering about? What, if you have something to say it out loud. I'll listen to you. Newly, the area went quiet. Gaston walked briskly and approached one of the men. What have you got behind this? Ha! It's you. What are keeping quiet about, tell me. Don't you dare pretend that you don't know. Hi! The designated man ran out of the Adventurer Support Center. Next time anyone says anything unnecessary, I'm going to beat you. I hate people the most who feel like they're great by yapping from a safe zone. Whoever has a problem with that, talk. I'll listen to you. No one appeared to answer that. It's great to be a gadfly after all. They're extremely irritating when you turn it into an enemy, but as long as our goals are aligned, they're extremely useful. It makes up for it nicely what I lack in intimidation. It might have been a better pick up than I thought. Abel. What happened? Maya asked me that as she watched Gaston change. I'm sorry I left you behind. Are you okay? It was a bit scary, but I'm okay. I'll explain about Gaston slowly later. For now, let's move on. After taking Maya to rest, he explained the whole exchange he had with Gaston. That's how it is, next time Gaston will exchange the prey that we got to money. I see. It's true that if we make a mess like this every time, your body won't be able to take it. But for Abel, is this okay? I don't even care about the rank that much after all. The idea of making Mr. Mountain the world's most famous sorcerer is said as a joke, but of course, the stability of everyday life and paying off the debt is the top priority. I don't need to weigh in. But now, I can't write a report anymore. I even wanted to write about how cool Abel was. I suppose you're free to write differently. But I know the feeling when you don't have a place to present it in a big way. Ah, that's right. That's the thing, though, Gaston can't seem to write. Since the one who will fight is us, I thought it would be safer if we also prepare the report, since it would be less suspicious of the contents, and I took it on, but... Do you want to write the report? The star of the show is... that big guy, right? No, I'll write it for you if you don't want to, but, I suggested it, and I'm sorry to say it, but if Maya write the Gaston's adventure, horrible things might happen. It's easy to imagine Gaston, red in the face, throwing the report around. I'll do it. Maya will write it. Maya decided that Maya will help Abel even a little bit of his work. I'll look into how swordsmen fight and try to make it as unbroken as possible. Please leave it to me. Really? No, you don't have to push yourself so hard. Having said that much, I recall Gaston's words. Dovico, you're planning to make me the laughing stock for not being able to read. Yes, Gaston not only can't write, he also can't read. If that's the case, it's alright no matter what we write. It's not easy for you to mimic a person to check. The Adventurer Support Center also is not free of time to ask for a resubmission. There are many uneducated adventurers from the start. It's unlikely that they'll be bothered by a single sentence format. If you understand some of the content, that should be enough. Maya seems to be struggling lately because there's nothing she can do, and she's willing to be counted on. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'll leave it to Maya. Yes. I'm going to write a report that makes people at the facility sweating their hands and making the paper swell up. I'm worried about being overly enthusiastic, but, well, what happens, happens. If you think it's bad, as expected, you can just interfere from the side. Chapter 84. Episode 7. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The staff called me and Maya to move to the special window. Thanks to Gaston's effect, there were few onlookers who followed us. The redemption of the head-eating black fiend proceeded without any problems. In addition to the reward for defeating them, the furs processed by the Adventurer Support Center will be sold directly to the facility. So I decided to add that amount to my compensation. Well then, so here's your fee, please check it. The receptionist said and handed me a heavy sack full of coins. I took the sachet, suppressing my excitement. The weight of the bag made me feel like I was going to lean over. It's heavy, just plain heavy. I quietly put the sachet in front of the counter and gave Maya a look. I've served here for a good amount of time, but it's been quite a while since I've given this much in one reward, sir. The receptionist smiled happily. There are no dungeons or other dangerous places near this city. The opportunity to redeem such things would naturally be in a different branch, so the opportunity to pay out not so high reward money is probably not much. I'm sure we'll all be looking forward to seeing what you guys do in the future. They cheered us on so powerfully. Sorry to disappoint you, but Gaston is the one who is going to play an important role in the future. You can expect a lot more from him in the future. Wow, it's so heavy. Maya never had so much money in her life. Maya happily lifts the sachet. She looks smiling, but if she hadn't forced herself to buy the world tree, she would have had more than twice that amount. But at any rate, it's a quick turnaround from being broke. As long as we don't live too flamboyantly, it looks like we won't have any trouble making a living for a while. I didn't expect to make this much money in a single hunt. The head eating black fiend is a mutant species that is rarely discovered, so this type of magic beast relatively not seen, but it still is a good start. Even the debt to Maya will be paid off soon enough, and if I accumulate the money, I can buy magic tools, chimeras, even golems. I can make all I want. From now on, I'm going to keep hunting the books I've read about magic tools I bought in Lamern's town and the knowledge in my past life with materials in this world combined together. A lot of things come to mind that could be made. I developed the magic of displaying a screen in the air at an early age, so I think I can make a high-performance mobile phone that can display a large screen without the need to take up that much space. I've heard of a magical beast that can alter its magic power to call its friends in the distance. In short, it's able to handle magic power like a radio wave. I'd love to catch it and dissect it. As long as we can accumulate enough money, we can start developing a mobile phone. Since it was so widespread in the original world, I'm sure it will sell very well in this world as well. If it succeeds, the world's richest man is no longer a dream. A man in a robe with a cell phone wanders around here and asks, what's it like in that country now? I'm going to Google that for a minute. Conversations like that will be rampant. Some people are going to open up their app games when they take a break from hunting. The world is going to be in trouble. It's exciting just thinking about it. We moved to the exit of the facility after we finished redeeming the head-eating black-fiend, but the jeers and hunches were very little. There were a few people who saw me and started whispering and gossiping, but they quickly stopped it. It looked as if the rumors themselves would be gone by tomorrow. Gaston Power was great. It's good to have their cooperation after all. Maya frowns a little as I say it. Somehow, though, I have a feeling it's going to collapse in a ridiculous way one day. Is it going to be okay? We'll be fine if we back out quickly then. There won't be any fatal evidence, so we can just move to another city and resume our adventuring business again. Instead of piling up achievements of Gaston, it's like a clumsy building blocks thing. It's impossible to imagine him continuing to succeed all the time. And the higher you go, the greater the impact when it collapses. Some caution would certainly be necessary to avoid getting caught in the collapse of Gaston Tower. Abel is pretty black-hearted. I'm just trying to make ends meet. I want the money, but I don't want to awkwardly stand out. I'm afraid I'll get myself into trouble, and there's no way I can be sure the Marins won't come looking for me. I'm sorry, but I don't have the luxury of being able to think about Gaston. After leaving the Adventurer Support Center, I made my way around the shopping district. Since I had more money to spare, I bought a dismantling knife and polishing stone for Maya, and I changed the blade part of the world tree for a little better. I also got some dried fruit and dried meat for the next hunt. I also bought more cloth so that my catch would be less visible. The more people who see it, the faster it will be discovered. Then I bought a beginner's bow and arrows because Maya wanted to try handling them. Not that I have any experience with bows or anything like that at all, but I think I can handle it somehow. She sounds like a student before a test. But she said she was fine with the cheap stuff, so it was no big deal. Rather, I found a cheap one, so I want to handle it, she said. So even if the bow is useless, it doesn't hurt. However, because it was cheap, the condition of the wood and the quality of the strings does not seem very good. It doesn't seem useless, but the bows in the tribe are much better. It's conceivable that it could be 3 days old, though, so this might be fine for now. I'll be able to finish off the far away prey that Abel's magic can't reach like a Zubababa. I'm confident that I can unleash my magic on a wider area than I can see, but I'd like to see you do well also. With this, Maya will be useful to Abel, too. Best regards, Shooting Wyvern. Is that by any chance the name of the bow? A wooden bow and a shooting wyvern, all the wyverns in the world are going to be pissed. I can't speak for others when it comes to naming it. That shooting wyvern, won't it better if you change the strings, scrape off the wisps and repaint it? It's dangerous if you get wood chips in your fingers. It might be better if I buy the materials and build it from scratch. In fact, I have experience of making a bow in the Marin tribe's village. If Maya is really proficient with the bow, I'll spend some time and money making a real one next time. However, I know that Maya wants to have some special skills, but I'm a little worried that she might have too much to do and become a jack of all trades and master of none. Chapter 85. Episode 8. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Once again I and Maya were hunting in the forest. We have things we want to buy and make in the city, but we need money for everything we do. Besides, at this pace, I'll be able to pay off my debt to Maya in no time. It's best to get these things done as soon as possible. You can't just get away with it and drag it along on the sly. Abel, aren't you pushing yourself too much? Let's take a break. Maya's starting to feel a little thirsty too, and, no, I have to push myself to get stronger. I push away my giggling knees with energy and move forward. I'm also very much aware of my weaknesses, and sometimes when I'm in the mood for something like this, I'm trying to train my body properly by torturing it. About 3 days a month. Today was the day I got in the mood for it. I feel like I'm gaining muscle with every step I take. Abel, please take it easy, okay? If you think you can't anymore, please tell Maya, okay? Just this much, an intense pain run through, as if something had snapped in my calf, sent me crashing to the ground. Ouch. 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 The pain is unbelievably intense. Liquid gushes out of me as the back of my eyes get squeezed. No. Abel. What's going on? Maya shouts as she sees me suddenly collapse. Ouch. Hurts. It hurts. A magic beast. It's a magical beast's attack. No, this peculiar attack, maybe it's a demon. I knew it was strange. Following the unicorn's magic beast disaster monster panic, the mutant species, head-eating black, fiend, appeared. No matter how hard it is to read the living organism of a magical beast, this is not the kind of abnormal situation that continues. We thought that there might be some factor that was driving the magic field crazy, but a demon had taken up residence, and it makes sense if you consider that they're trying to turn part of the forest into a dungeon. You're a pretty high-ranking demon if you didn't feel uncomfortable even when we're approached. Leave me and run. He's going to take your legs. No, I can never do that. Idiot. They'll kill you. Maya would rather die than abandon Abel. Maya broke down crying and bent over on the spot. Then she held my head in her arms and cried out. After the two of us ranting and screaming down, about 5 minutes later, it wasn't a magical beast, a demon, or anything else. It was discovered that it was just a cramp in the leg. Maybe what's really scary isn't disasters or demons, but something deep inside us humans. I saw myself to the brink of death, but I managed to get out of it by having Maya bend my toes. The leg cramps would go away if I bent my toes with my feet stretched tensely. Thank God I had memories of my previous life. It saved my life. Is Abel more afraid of hanging his feet than a demon? I think I might be rather serious about that. I said in a rough voice. If it was a demon, it would die if I shot magic into it. Since a physical failure occurs suddenly without a magical sign, depending on the object, there are many cases where the failure is delayed, as in this case. You can probably use magic to alleviate it, but if the physical condition breaks down, it's possible that it won't work. Maya too is really scared to death, you know. Let's take it easy from here on out. Why was Abel so excited about today? Say it, say it. Maya says as she wiggles around my toes. It's a place that's rarely touched by people, and it's ticklish, so I want you to let it go sometime now. Hey, please don't touch the soles of my feet, Maya-san. No. Somehow, aren't my muscles now amazing? It's like I've finally grown up fast, or maybe all my hard work has paid off. I lifted my head and indicated with my fingers around my own bulging shins. What? Does this mean, that it's okay to touch it? Can I touch it? Are you having some kind of impure thoughts? Maya touched my leg with her hand. Then she nodded his head as if she was convinced. It's hard to say, but I think it's just swollen. After a brief rest, we decided to start again. Originally I had left food and other things with Maya, and my luggage was quite small, but that too Maya carried without me asking. I'm honestly grateful. Are you sure you don't want to turn back? We've got more money to spare, and there's no need to be in such a hurry. There's a lot of things I want to do and stuff. And I want to pay off my debt early. Maya's mother's precious metal items, tentative price, 1 million gold. That's the amount that the owner of Chimera's Tail had appraised me for when she agreed to barter for it, but it's doubtful that it was really 1 million gold. It's also possible that she was blown up in a big way to get an advantage in negotiations, and now that I think about it, I don't even think that owner itself was that discerning. She contributed to the order by giving out all of her sources of livelihood funding, even though she was in a difficult situation herself. It couldn't be without interest, could it? To be honest, I have no idea how much I should be paying back. I want to hit myself rather hard at that time. Without that, I couldn't have been able to neutralize Ebelhade's hypnotic magic, the black fog, so it might have been a good result. If it wasn't for the World Tree Ortem, I would have had to respond with just force. I would have blown away the black fog with his wide-range wind magic full force. If I had done so, the passage would probably have collapsed and someone would have been seriously injured. Ebelhade would not have survived first. Why does Abel want to clear the debts in such a hurry? Maya always says it's fine, as expected. I'm not so shameless to be calm while having debts, by any chance, because Maya is useless, so you want to leave her immediately. Is that how it is? Maya will do her best to master both the demolition and the bow. So, therefore, please don't throw her away. She squeezes my sleeve and looks into my face uneasily. Her lips are quivering in a rut. See, calm down. No one said that, okay. Apparently there is a trauma switch. I only know a brief history of the Doom tribe in the past, but I wonder if Maya's homeland is that terrible of a place. That I'm hesitant to ask her about it from her own mouth. Would James, who had actually visited the Doom village and brought Maya out, know about it? Chapter 86. Episode 9. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I and Maya huddled together, hiding behind a tree trunk. A short distance away, there are gold coins scattered around. The one I had just thrown. Bah! Bah! A bird with blue-green body hair appears from the sky. It has a large bill and scurrying eyes. It is a monster known as a bomb bird. The danger level of a single one is F. class, but because it's nimble that its subjugation difficulty level is 2 times higher. It is a cowardly beast, and once it is alerted, it is said to be impossible to hunt for a day. Many restaurants are coveting them because of their fatty flesh, so it is very important to hunt them, so it is a good magical beast. There are 3 patterns of bomb birds' behavior that adventurers should remember. The first is patrolling. They patrol alone and look for prey. A female with hatchlings will fly around the nest, sometimes for the purpose of early detection of foreign enemies. The second is the alert stance. This is what a bomb bird will do if its life is in danger. It will make a high-pitched, unusual sound as it runs away. When a bomb bird sees the bomb bird in this state, other bomb birds will also go into an alert state. The third is the mating season. The female spreads her wings like a madman and flies about with a shrill voice. Caught by their voices, the males come together. At the same time, adventurers also gather there. If this happens, they would be perfect ducks, but it's not the right season, so it seems unlikely. That bomb bird is on patrol. The patrolling bomb bird has a habit of holding gold coins in its mouth with its beak. So, if you hide and scatter gold coins, they will come down to the ground like this. It can succeed even with silver coins, but the success rate is higher with gold coins. Copper coins would not be looked at. For this reason, adventurers call them golden birds and gold birds. The adventurer who failed to kill the bird with what little gold he had left was called a gold bird in the column of the adventurer's newspaper. This was probably a habit of attacking the eyes of the outside world. Something small and light that reflecting. In that aspect, gold coins and eyeballs are identical. I am glad I bought a newspaper after all. It would have been completely different without it. It was almost enough to gather information. You're really going to do it. The gold, will they take it? It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead, Maya. Go kill that stupid bird. Ah, yes. Maya nodded twice while shouting loudly and persistently. I don't think it noticed us, but I would like her to be a little more careful while we're hunting. She was so nervous that her voice just rubbed upwards. Maya readied her bow and halfway out of the tree. BDNVL.M, a little more. Lift it up to your shoulder and then tighten, like this, stretch your arms out, like this. Ah, yes. I'm counting on you, shooting wyvern. In case you're wondering, I've used a bow a few times in the Marin village, too. A few times. I thought sorcery was faster, and I didn't get any distance at all, so I immediately abandoned the practice. When the arrow flew, the bomb bird had just lifted the gold coin into its mouth. The arrow flew to the left, well off the bomb bird. The bomb bird noticed us, kicked the ground and took off. Bah! Ah! 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 The gold! Ah! Give it back. Please give it back. Bah! Bah bah! Maya fired a second and third shot but didn't even graze it. She hung her arms in disappointment and stared at the back of the bomb bird with an exhausted face. You shouldn't be that disappointed for a single gold coin. Bah! Bah! A bomb bird cries out in a high-pitched voice. I see, so this is the alert stance. The frequency is completely different from the previous one, and it also sounds strange. It seems that magic power is contained in the voice in order to make it sound far away. Ah! Already, so far away. I'm sorry. Because of Maya, your precious money. Oh wind, form, blade, I waved my wand and shot out a blade of wind. It sliced through the branches of a tree that was an obstacle and hit the back of a bomb bird. Bahan! The bomb bird fell with a splattering of blood. Scattered feathers fell after the body. The bomb bird is still alive, all right. I tucked my wand away in my pocket. All right. What did you just say, Maya? No, Maya looked relieved and somewhat disappointed as she put the arrow she was clutching back into her quiver. After all, in archery and sorcery, it's not all practice, it also has to be put into practice on field. I picked up the gold coins that I had scattered in the bomb bird cage, and Maya ran to the bomb bird that fell far away. Maya grabbed the bomb bird by the neck and lifted it up, smacking it on the head and making it spit out gold coins. Bah! The bomb bird lets out a whimper. Oh! This bird is still alive. I'd better give it the finishing blow. Please just keep it up like that. I have a little something I want to try. Something you want to try? Maya tilts her head. Yeah. If that bomb bird is a female, it should have a unique call for a male during the mating season. If it's the kind of call that is made with magical powers, maybe you can force it to come out with a little physical manipulation. It's not the right time, but if the female calls, the male will probably come around. If it goes well, we can round them up. I have a magic stone in my pack for times like these. What's that? It's scary. Maya turned a straight face. She immediately shook her head and returned her expression. Well. But it's weak. And it's probably going to die right away if I mess with it, that's why I'm going to heal it and bring it back to life. I'm going to wriggle its wings so it can't escape. Is that okay? That's bio.magic, right? You're going to get caught in an ordinance or something, it's okay. These rules are all about not letting them out into the wild and messing with the ecosystem. If you dispose of them properly, they won't get angry, probably. I see. So. It's okay, right? Yeah, it's supposed to. I asked Maya to push the bomb bird onto a nearby stump. Bah! 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 As if the bomb bird had figured out something, it showed its last bit of energy to resist. Maya says as she held it down, I'm sorry, lets out in a whisper. Sleep. Bah! The bomb bird went quiet quickly. I closed my eyes slowly. Alright, let's start the modification then. For now, the first step is to investigate the flow and nature of the bomb bird's magic power. Chapter 87. Episode 10. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I had the Maya drop both wings of the bomb bird and conform its flesh to the wound with bio.magic. The healing magic enhances the life force and removes the worry of a debilitating death. After that, I poured magic power into the bomb bird's body to examine the flow of magic power within its body. Really, I'm glad it's a female. Now it's as if all the worries of this time are gone. There is a way to force them to change their sex with bio.magic, but I'm not that familiar with the details about the bomb bird. It takes a sample of a female to make a female out of a male. Ah, Maya, I need you to pull a magical stone out of my pack. A fistful of them. And a red bottle. With a strangely polite hand, Maya takes out a bottle and a magic stone and handed them to me. Even though it's a bottle, it's not something that can be broken that easily, and the liquid inside was bought at the Chimera's Tail, as it's a cheap catalyst. After I received the bottle, Maya didn't let go of the magic stone. I tried to strongly pull it, but she wouldn't let go. Maya, what's wrong? Don't worry about it. Even when you go to hell, Maya will be right behind you. Maya said with a tearful voice and then finally let go of the magic stone. That's such a big deal. When I did something similar in the village, Giselle praised me with open arms. Well, in the Marin tribe's village, they used to do some pretty nasty things like pulling out animal organs, calling it a ritual. Maybe I've lost a few of my senses since. Maybe that's why. I embed the magic stone in the back of the bomb bird and sprinkle the contents of the bottle. I place my hand on the wet magic stone and flow the magic power while slowly changing the wavelength. The reaction, the flow of magic power, the strength of the flowing magic power, the hypothesis. I use the wood carving knife to carve data into the wood. When enough data has been gathered and the full picture has been seen, I wake up the bomb bird. Wake up, I wave my wand, and the bomb bird snaps open its eyes. I've controlled its actions with magic, though, and I've paralyzed it in every part of its body except the throat and up, and I've also torn away its wings so it won't be able to get away with it in all likelihood. Order, cry. As I gave the bomb bird a command, the bomb bird opened its large beak. Bye. This sorcery is like hypnosis, which makes the user perform simple actions. The conditions for casting the spell are difficult to control and the mileage of the magic is poor, but if you're dealing with small animals, it can be moved just like a poorly performing radio-controlled car. It's magic in a grimoire I found in a hidden door in the chief's library. It's the one I had the most trouble learning. There are easier ways to hypnotize a person, but this is the only way for animals that don't understand the language. However, as expected, I have no intention of using such magic against humans. Bye. The wavelength and quality of the flowing magic power are sent into the throat while shifting its wavelength and quality. In line with that, the bomb bird's crying voice changes slightly. This is the sound they make when they're in an alert stance. We're definitely getting closer. The fact that we're able to reproduce the special cry when they were in an alert stance means that we should be able to reproduce the cry when they were in mating season soon, too. The problem is that I don't know what that bomb bird sounds like during the mating season. I can only take a guess that this is what it sounds like. It's just a sound that animals make as an appeal to the opposite sex, not a very dirty sound, I suppose. And unlike the cry they make when they are ready to flee to warn nearby companions of danger, the cry they make during mating season are distant and need to be able to reach the opposite sex. That means that it should be the same level or it should sound more or farther away as the former. Bah! 2 hours from the start of the experiment, the time had finally come. A beautiful, well-formed tone echoed far into the distance. As soon as I heard it, I was sure it was the right sound. Maya, we did it at last. Look. Ah, yes. I lifted the bomb bird up and showed it to Maya, and she seemed to barely squeeze it out of her slightly strained face from what she responded. Why, you don't have to draw back that much. I placed the bomb bird on a stump. The bomb bird's eyes are peeled open and continues to let out a shrill cry as it drips an unknown liquid from its mouth. Maya, it's time to get your bow ready. They're coming, I said, and put my fingers on the bomb bird's head. The bomb bird stops crying and gently closes its eyelids as if it has done its job. Ha! Coming you say, what? Before I could answer, a commotion spreads through the forest. Trees swayed, leaves fell, and a gust of wind blew. And bah! A large number of bomb birds appeared from all sides of the forest. Their number, if all of them were combined, would be 30. Hi! Isn't this bad? Isn't that a bit much? Hey Abel. Certainly, more than I expected. Maybe it's a smaller call than it should be. This is going to attract more than just bomb birds. We might as well finish the hunt early and move on. Just shoot and just keep shooting. It should be good practice. Didn't Abel say that bird was going to go for your eyes? Don't worry, I'll attack it for you if they come too close. Maya cried out and readied her bow and released it into the flock of bomb birds. It didn't hit the lead bomb bird, but it hit the bomb bird behind it. After one bomb bird falls to the ground, the other bomb birds sense the situation and turn themselves around in unison. The bomb birds sulked in the air, tangled with each other, collided and fell to the ground. In the midst of the chaos, some of the bomb birds kicked their friends to get away first. On the other hand, there was also a fluent bomb bird that was there, walked up to my modified bomb bird, spread its wings, and tried hard to propose to it. I think it's a little too much of an individual head. The bomb bird that just kicked its mate and ran away from him was hit in the head and fell to the ground by an arrow that Maya missed by aiming at another bomb bird. The bomb bird he was proposing, the rolling bomb bird, isn't moving, so he kicked in the leg with its bare foot to confirm it, and quickly flew away, looking bored. I watched it with a bit of dry sentimentality, saying, I guess the last thing in the world is luck. When the hunt was over, there were about 20 bomb birds lying around. The remaining 10 of them had escaped, or rather, let them go. Honestly, we hunted too much. I can't take this many back with me. I'm going to have to bring a wagon or something once finished. Finally. Maya slumped into place, out of breath. Did Maya shoot well? Have I been able to help Abel? She asks anxiously. If we can hunt this much, we're good. If we cash it all in, it should be a good amount of money. The only problem, though, is how to take it all home with us. Chapter 88. Episode 11. You are listening at novelfull.audio. We gathered the bomb bird in one place and pull the magic stone off the modified bomb bird. Then I think again. How in the world am I going to bring back this large number of bomb birds? As I was pondering, 2 men's voices came from deep within the forest. Hey, big brother, it's hopeless already. The bomb bird is on alert, and human feet can't catch up with it. Shut up, you idiot. They got away with it because you're being lazy, to begin with. If we don't catch that damn bird and collect the gold, we'll be in the red. I won't let them get away with this. Never. He has a rough tone and doesn't sound very gracious. I knew it was coming. The sound of a bomb bird attracted me, something other than a bomb bird. It's an adventurer who targets the bomb birds. As for me, I didn't want to come into contact with other adventurers in such a secluded place. I don't have a very good memory of the adventurers in this city. First, I saw Gaston threatening the staff when I came to the Adventurer Support Center. Next, the adventurers demonstrating at the ruins. Gaston blending in with them and shouting abuse. The adventurers who look at you with suspicion when you hunt a mutant. Then Gaston, who came to cause trouble straightly. I once saw an adventurer who was drunk and fighting in the daytime. One half was Gaston. What the hell, if you think about it calmly, it's all Gaston. There's no need to avoid them that hard. 2 adventurers emerge from deep in the forest. A man carrying an axe and a man carrying a bow. Both are in their late 20s or so. The two men had similar facial features. They must be brothers since I heard "big brother" earlier. The axe-handling man was taller, while the bow-handling man had a round face and was slightly overweight. When Maya looked at the two adventurers, she grabbed my sleeve as if she was anxious. By the looks of things, I'd better talk to them. What's with this situation? The little fat man with the bow, probably the little brother, spilled that. They're both gutsy. If they seem trustworthy, maybe I could ask them to help me carry the bomb bird. The older brother looked around at the bomb bird on the ground and then at me. Hey, kid. I haven't seen you around, are you new here? What is this bomb bird? What happened? Yes. I'm a recent adventurer who ran away from the countryside because I don't want to follow my parents' plans. My name is Abel and she's Maya. I explained and bowed my head. For now, I'll just have to leave it at the bottom. He's a senior. I might be able to hear something valuable, or he might be able to help me. The older brother was still staring at me with suspicious eyes. The explanation for the bomb bird. Let's just fool around. The whole thing, Maya killed the bomb bird with her bow. I indicated Maya with my thumb and said smugly. I didn't tell a lie. I attack it with magic, and in the end, Maya finished it off with her bow. The only bomb bird I killed directly was a modified bomb bird, for example. Maya tugs on my sleeve and looks up at me half crying. Maya is an expert with the bow, so, Maya shook her head tremendously. She was half crying. It was getting a little fun. What? These kids have killed this many bomb birds. Brother, I don't think it's impossible. Neither of them is Norks, nor are they Noirs. They don't look like from around here. The women, maybe they're hunters from a remote area where there are a lot of ferocious magical beasts. I've heard in the tavern that horned people have better senses. I see. You're the type that is only good at hunting down small fry. If you use it well, it's worth a fortune. The older brother laughed, with a twisted smile. What do you think of that white kid? He's got a wand, so he must be a sorcerer, but there isn't a bomb bird with magical trauma. And that kind of being, he looks like a sculptor. Maybe they're technical people by nature. He said he got into trouble with his parents and ran out, and he's thin. I guess he doesn't have much experience in hunting. Okay, so he's just useless, of the white kid, so they're talking about me. I can hear everything, dude. However, he's looking at it surprisingly well. It's a good thing I ripped the magic stone off the modified bomb bird. I'm sorry I'm late to introduce myself. I'm Gordon. The fat one over here is Morden. I'm a semi-D class adventurer and Maudon is an E class adventurer. So we're your seniors. The older brother. Gordon cackles while clapping his hands. Semi-D class, so the same class as Gaston. He's pretty high up in the ranks of the adventurers in Lamern City. Gordon spreads his arms to the left and right and walks briskly up to me. The tone was abrupt or strangely friendly. What a frivolous-looking man. I'm going to teach you one thing as a senior. You can't understand it at first, but an adventurer has to have a quality. What are you talking about? It's not just the rank, man. Whether you have a role to play, or if it's really something you can't do without him, or if you're just sneaking around on the edge. Money and lives are at stake, so it's only natural. It's quite common at newbie parties, the quality gap. I'm a nice guy, so I used to work with a lot of useless people. Now that I've come to terms with the reality of the situation, I ended up with Morden. It couldn't be helped because Big Brother got into a dispute with the allocation and went on a rampage and a bad rumor spread. Gordon tapped the back of Morden's head as he was about to say something. But I could see what he was trying to say. In short, he's probably thinking of pulling Maya out of the picture. Should I not have told an unnecessary lie? No. Either way, Gordon was here to negotiate. Or rather, he was saved from a clean hit of Maya. He glanced over to check Maya's complexion. Her face paled and she was staring at the ground. Her grip on my sleeve has weakened, and now she can only pick at it with her fingers. The tip of it is also quivering. You know what I mean. Horned woman. Maya, if I remembered. Get rid of that white knucklehead and stick with me. When it comes, that weak kid won't be bodyguard much when you're in a pinch, you know. I'm a very gentlemanly man even if I look like this. Maya's body staggered, so I managed to prop her up. I didn't have the strength to continue supporting her, so I gently made her lean against a nearby tree. Are you okay, Maya? Hey. Useless, cast aside. Useless, she repeated this with empty eyes, mumbling. Hey, get a grip. Hey. Really, the adventurers in this city are all not good. So Gaston wasn't the only one. What are you guys doing? Well, okay. Anyway, horned woman, you are to follow me. For now, I've to get rid of these guys first rather than follow up with Maya. As for the party, it's our problem, so can you not interfere anymore? Both Maya and I are not dissatisfied with the current situation. Besides, look, Maya doesn't seem to be feeling well either. Oh, come on, you're not going to let that fool me. You've got a look that you've been punched in the face, ha ha ha. Who does this guy think he is? I'm really starting to get a little annoyed. No, oh, okay. You don't have to tell me. I understand it all too well. I know you're desperate, so I don't need to argue with you. That's why I'm going to test you, as the senior member of the team, to see if you're up to the challenge as an adventurer. That should change both your mind and the woman's. Ah. It's not a good idea to bully the weak, but oh well. It's the role of the senior to take on the role of the hater, isn't it? Gordon stabbed the axe into the ground and snapped his fingers. What, making your face so hard? You're scared. Ha. Don't worry, I'm not going to take your life. I may make you so battered that you'll never be an adventurer again, but don't you resent me. Such accidents happen all the time when you're an adventurer. Don't tell me you're not prepared for that kind of sh*t, do you? Even for Gaston, why are they all so quarrelsome? It can't be helped, let's just do it with all our might and get rid of them quickly. Chapter 89. Episode 12. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gordon takes one look at the axe he stabbed into the ground and snickers. For a weak kid like you, I don't need to use a weapon. Right hand or left hand, which hand should I not use? Take your pick. Gordon cocked his head from side to side and made a crackling sound. As a side note, it's not a good idea to turn your neck to make a sound. It's part of the radio exercises, but it puts a lot of strain on the bone joints. I've been rushed to the hospital in my past life because of it. Stupid bitch. Ha ha ha, you're too scared. Gordon came running in with an exaggerated swing of his right arm. Even if I look like this, I'm the most powerful man in the slums. Abel, as your senior, I'm going to drive it into you that the adventurer's world is survival of the fittest. You may never get a chance to make use of it again, though. Don't feel bad about it, if I hadn't done it, someone else would have done it. How can I do this without injuring him badly and still reduce Gordon's will to fight? As I thought, using large-scale magic as quickly as possible is the fastest way. Bigger is stronger. It's easy to understand at a glance. Oh earth, form, hand. At the same time I waved my wand, Gordon drew his right arm and waved his left arm. You thought it was my right. I'm left-handed, you know. If you had told me to be honest, I would have told you to use that one. You wah. Gordon was bounced off a wall of dirt that emerged from the ground. A 10-meter long hand of earth blocked the space between Gordon and me. Ouch. Now you've done. H, hey, what is this? Gordon, who was about to get up, fell back on his ass and backed up in his stance. Gordon put his hand on the axe and stood up from there. Oh earth, form, hand, I grow another hand on the side blocking Gordon's progress. Gordon's movements come to a complete halt. Which hand do you prefer? You can point it if you have a designation. I've carefully made a distinction between my right arm and my left arm, properly and carefully. I'm the type of person who cares about the details. Whoa! Gordon screams, holding the axe and hitting the dirt hand. With a bang, the axe sticks in the hand of the earth. But of course, it's not thick enough to cut away easily. When Gordon tried to pull it out with his hands on the soil, he bent his arms greatly and Gordon's body bounced into the air. Gordon in his defenseless state flicked him lightly with the index finger of the earth hand. Gordon rolled on the ground and hit his body against a tree root. If I've done this much, I guess it's okay now. Gordon looked up with his dirt-covered face. It seems to have fallen off his left cheek, it's swollen red. Morden. Shoot the sorcerer. That stops it. Hurry up. Big brother, I told you to hurry up. He's completely in over his head. I hoped I could scare him lightly, but I guess I scared him a little too much. Hey, sorcerer, stop. You move a little, and I'll shoot. I know you're strong. But in this state, I can shoot you while you're transferring the magic circle. I won't do you anything bad, for now, drop the wand, oh wind, form, blade, I wave my wand at Morden. A blade of wind flies to Morden. No way, it's too fast. Yua. Morden belatedly fires an arrow. The blade of wind engulfs the arrow, dropping it to the ground and hitting the bough that Mao Dan is holding readily. Trees shattered and shavings danced in the air. The impact bounced of the bough causes Mao Dan to fall on his back. Hi, no way. I took my eyes away from Morden, whose mouth was snapping open and closed, and turned back to Gordon. When our eyes met, Gordon's body shook with a jolt. It's only when you're an adventurer that your body gets so battered that you can't ever be an adventurer again. I guess it was a thing. You wouldn't say you weren't ready, would you? He quickly lifts his wand and aligns the tip extension with Gordon's head. Gordon stares at the tip of the wand with his mouth wide open. In contrast to earlier, his eyes were like a puppy with a lion in front of him. Slowly, the water was spreading around his crotch area. He leaked because of fear, apparently. This is enough, I guess. If I scare him this much, he won't get involved with us next time. I looked at Maya, then back to Gordon, and lowered my wand. Don't you ever get involved with us again. And don't tell anyone about this time, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Just spare my life. Just my life. No, as I said, Gordon's head hit the ground on the spot, a change from earlier. Because it's dumb and annoying to have a man attached to a woman of ability, and sooner rather than later, even if it's not me, someone will make a move. So I just thought it should be me. I thought I'd scare you into running away and expose your miserable ways, and I'm not serious about breaking your bones. The reason I asked Morden to shoot the bow was because I got scared that you're going to kill me for real. I didn't think there was anything like this. You're changing too fast. If you really can't get your mind off of it, just take it out on me. Morden, my brother is a good-natured guy, unlike me. There is a little bit of independence, but if it weren't for me, he would have done better in other places. Even if he party with other guys, unlike me, my brother is more cooperative and easier to deal with than he is, and I hear stories like that. So. Gordon's head intensely hits the ground. No, I get it, so just go away, big brother, so you think of me like that. Morden, with tears in his eyes, staggered over to Gordon. I'm sorry, brother. I'm such a bad brother to the end. Wailing and sobbing, Gordon and Morden hugged each other tightly. Please do it in place without me. Chapter 90. Episode 13. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After conclusion, Gordon has been completely calm. I see, Abel.san is having a hard time carrying the bomb bird. Please let me handle this. I can help. Of course, I won't be taking any share of your money. If you want, we can get a few more men for you. This attitude is a change from when we met. I wanted Gordon and Maudon to go away as soon as possible, but I'd be grateful if they were willing to carry the bomb bird. From the looks of things now, I don't think the Gordon brothers are going to oppose us. If they seem to do exactly what I'll say, I might be able to pass the handing over of the magic beasts to Gaston and collect the reward money in a roundabout way. Well then, if that's the case, I'll ask you to help me. Maya was snuggled up beside me, holding my sleeve. When she heard my reply to Gordon, she looked into my face uneasily. I guess she's worried about being told she's useless. The words earlier were directed at me, but they were also something Maya was concerned about. It was obvious that it had stung her. If you're this strong, at least one person in this forest should be enough. With that magic, even a bomb bird would be easy to drop. Without delay, Morden asked me where I didn't want him to dig too deep. I could feel Maya's body shaking over my shoulder. No, I'm having a bit of a hard time with my fitness, so without an escort, you shouldn't ask thoughtless questions. When you see that distance from each other, you should know now, they're lovers. I knew it when I saw it. My voice is interrupted and Gordon lightly smacks Morden on the head. What are you talking about, you leaking bastard? No, it's not like I'm saying, no, I'm sorry, Abel.san. This guy is really slow. I mean, as I was about to argue, I suddenly noticed that Maya next to me had stopped shaking. Me, Maya. Lovers. With Abel, Maya's face turned bright red and her mouth was slackened. For now, let's just leave it at that. It's better for Maya to follow up on what the Gordon brothers told her when there's no extra third party to follow up on. But even with the four of us, this is going to be a bit tough. Abel.san, let's send my brother first to Lamon City to gather people. If there are too many of them, it's easier for rumors to get out. As for me, I want to avoid that. I don't want to go through the same troublesome experience I had when I hunted down the head-eating black fiend. Maybe it's because I've been living comfortably in the village of Marin tribe, but I feel strangely stressed when many people look at me with malice in their eyes. I want to leave it to Gaston, who seems to have a hairy heart. I count the number of bomb birds again, wondering if there is any way to keep the number of people down. 4 people would be fine for the weight, but the bulk is too great. I won't be able to hold it in my hand. I can't hold it in my hand. No, should I use magic to break Gordon's hand into 8 pieces? It would be a bit of a tough look, but if you operated on it before you entered the city and removed it afterward, it shouldn't be a problem. If a third party sees him, though, he could be executed as a demon for violating the law and getting past the law. What's wrong, Abel.san? Somehow your eyes is kinda scary. Or is there something on my shoulder? I don't have anything on right now. I was just thinking about putting it on now. Well, we don't need more hands, we just need more bulk to carry each person. What can we do about it? Wait a minute, I'll build a wheelbarrow. I scraped the surface of the wood with a wood-carving knife and carved a blueprint into it. I want to make an autumn push car, a tool to carry the bomb birds. It is supposed to be a large wooden box with 4 wheels. However, unlike the area around the Marin tribe's village, the trees around here are not very good at conducting magic power. To make magic power flow and be transported seems difficult. It's not that it's absolutely impossible, but it would take too much cost and effort. I don't even have enough materials with what I have now. That's why this time it will only be operated as a wheelbarrow. We have nearly 20 bomb birds. I want to make 3 because I designed the cart to be able to carry up to 7 birds without difficulty. The bomb birds are about one size larger than a chicken. 7 bomb birds weigh about 20 kilograms. One person can carry this one on his own. I can't, of course. I tell Gordon to chop down the wood with the axe, and I shape it with a wood carving knife. Once the parts of the wood are all assembled, it's time to make the spikes and wheels to put it together. I put my hand on the ground, and recite a spell. Refine, I hold the staff in the opposite hand and place it against the back of the hand on the ground. Many kinds of elements are contained in the soil. Iron and aluminum are among them. With a little time and delicate control, the necessary elements can be extracted and the spirits combined to create a tight magi. Metal. Unlike Hideme Magi. Metal, which is made from ingredients in the air, this one has the advantage of not collapsing for a long period of time because of the strong binding of the original ingredients. It can retain its present shape for at least a week. It is not possible to mass-produce a lot of products like Hideme Magi. Metal, and it is difficult to give it unusual properties since its base is an ordinary metal with little magical intervention, but this is highly useful. I smelted the tight magi. Metal from the soil, changing location several times to make nails and wheels. In addition, I prepared 2 small hammers made entirely of tight magi. Metal. Now I had all the materials ready. Can you assemble the rest? He pointed the hammer at the Gordon brothers. They took the hammer in silence and began to test its performance by playing with their fingers and tapping on the wood. It's not designed to break so easily, so don't worry. As long as you put the right amount of force into it, you should be able to smash the floating fortress of Zesham, which is the pride of Ebelhade, with this one. It's quite a simple task, though. Right, the blueprints are on that tree over there. I added a speech bubble with a picture of Ordom and drew it as comprehensibly as possible. Well, you really can do anything you want, can't you? I didn't know that I was picking a fight with this kind of person. Gordon muttered as he rubbed his puffy, swollen cheeks.